Estate planning can be a very difficult topic to address and work through. And certainly when it comes to the dispositive provisions of an estate plan, we're talking about the distribution after death, then there are some things that you want to consider because more often than not, you have an outright distribution. But there are some human factors to consider. And so I want to take you through that. First, standard language in documents will say there's always access for funds for health, education, maintenance, support. However, when it comes to the distribution, oftentimes it'll be staggered where you receive a third at age 25, a third at 30, and then the remaining balance at 35. However, there might be a time or an occurrence where you do not want an outright distribution. So I'll walk you through a couple of examples. Say, for example, you have a child who is not particularly motivated. And if they're to receive an inheritance or a large sum of money, it may just cause them to lack even further motivation to do more with their life. Another example would be if your child has chosen some bad decisions along the way, and now maybe as they're older, they're into drugs or alcohol, then there may be some additional language you want to incorporate to make sure that they're staying on the correct path and that they wouldn't lose their inheritance. Then you've also got kids who are overly ambitious, who tend to get involved in businesses, have creditors, potentially IRS problems, where you might want to have restrictions on distributions to that individual just because they may be quick to spend the money. And with the third one, you might consider keeping the inheritance within the bloodline in the family. So you might want to have your inheritance go to your son or daughter and then to the grandkids. And there is some language that you'd want to incorporate into the document that would stipulate that. So as it comes to the dispositive provisions of an estate plan, there's a lot of careful considerations that you need to make because there are human factors to consider when designing your estate plan. And so if you would like more information on this, please go to purefinancial.com.